Hello everyone, welcome to your practice and welcome to my channel. My name is Ben Oliveri. If you haven't practiced with me before, this is going to be a 30-minute slow flow hatha class for hamstring flexibility. So a lot of the times yoga poses that do get into the hamstrings are forward folds. So this is also a really good one for the low back if you have some tightness there as well. And oftentimes those two things correlate, right? The back body, if the hamstrings and hips are tighter, then we're going to experience some low back pain. So yeah, we'll just try to open up through the back of the legs, a little bit of low back relief as well. And you will need a strap. If you don't have a strap, it's all good. You can use something else in your house, like a belt or a necktie, even like a big towel, something like that. We'll just use it for one or two poses at the end. And maybe 2 blocks. If you have blocks, go ahead and grab them, / if you know that you're a little bit tighter in the hamstrings, 2 blocks can be helpful. If you don't have blocks, you can use books, something along those lines. And we'll start in just a forward fold, head to knee pose. So from seated, you're gonna bring the sole of your left foot in and your right leg extends out long. Find an inhale, try to lengthen your spine. So we'll work with this quite a bit today. Before you fold forward, you want to lengthen your spine, lift up, and then find your forward fold, trying to lead with your chest as you fold forward. And we'll just take a few breaths here, feeling that stretch in the back of the right leg, a little bit in the low back as well. And then one vertebra slowly one vertebra at a time, start to come up. Switch that, so the right foot comes in. Left leg straight, you might have a little bend in it if that makes it easier to tip forward. And then again, trying to lead with the chest, maintain some length in your spine as you come into your folds. You can have the palms down or up, whatever helps you kind of soften the shoulders a bit more. We'll take 3 breaths here. Relaxing the jaw, especially on your exhales. Muscles of the face can soften. 1 more full breath. So then go ahead and make your way up. Sweep your feet to either side. Come to a tabletop position. And from this tabletop, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. You're going to extend your right foot back so you're on the ball of your foot, and you're going to take several pulses there. We're just starting with some more gentle poses to slowly wake up through the back of the legs, calf and hamstring muscles. A couple more breaths as you pulse back and forth. And you're going to lift your right leg off the ground. Bring it off to your left side so it comes off of your mat. And press the heel towards the floor just until you find sensation in the back of the leg. And you can either stay looking forward if that's good for your neck. You might add a little neck stretch gazing past your shoulder towards your heel. And with your next inhale, lift that right leg off the ground. Exhale back through tabletop. And left foot back, ball of the foot. You can be on the palms, you can be on the knuckles if the wrists want a little break. Now we're just starting with those little pulses. So no rush in this first part, really for this class, especially for the hamstrings. That can tend to be a tighter area of the body. It can be better to just move slowly and intentionally. And after your next breath, you're going to lift that left leg off of the ground. Bring it across your body off to the right side. You land on the toes or the ball of the foot. Right, you're just sinking that heel down enough to where you find sensation in the back of the legs, the back of the leg. And then you can stay looking forward or gaze past your right shoulder. And with your next inhale, lift that left leg off the ground. Set it down, widen your knees, and we'll take a little child's pose. And just bring your hands forward, head down. Take a handful of breaths here. And just getting steady with the breath in this more passive pose. Trying to let your exhales complete. And take 3 more full breaths. Abdomen expands as you breathe in. Low back softens as you breathe out. And after that third breath, gently press yourself up. Hands at the top of your mat with your fingers spread out wide. Curl your toes under at the back of your mat. And lift your hips up into down dog. When you get there, take a nice slow pedal of the feet. Bending one knee deeply, pressing the opposite heel towards the mat. Doesn't matter if it gets there or not. As you do press one heel towards the mat, also try to press your hands forward, letting your chest come a little closer towards the thigh, the leg that's straight. Maybe pausing on one side and taking a few breaths there, just a couple more slow pedals. And from your dog pose, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee. So this is where blocks can be helpful. We're going to start with low lunge. Either hands on your knee or hands come down to blocks or floor, but either way you're going to sink down into that right thigh just as much as works for your body. So we get a stretch on the quads and hip flexors on the right thigh, also hip flexors on the left thigh. We get that just by letting the hips be heavy, sinking down. And then we'll go back to the hamstring. You're going to press into the foot, coming into half split. The right toes flex towards your face, right leg is straight or close to it. There might be a little bend. And then just like we were working with, place your block, your hands under your shoulders. Take an inhale, lift your chest. And with your exhale, lead with your chest, right? Instead of just rounding right into the back, feel yourself lead with the chest, a little more of a stretch in the hamstrings and lengthen the spine that way. And taking a couple more breaths, you might go deeper into your fold with each breath. You might find where you are. Then bend back into your front knee. Frame your foot. We'll pass through that down dog before the other side. Take a moment in stillness in down dog. Feel the differences between sides. And then left foot forward in between your hands. Now low lunge to start. Hands underneath your shoulders. They might be right on the floor, they might be on blocks. You're going to sink down into that thigh. And then take 2 more full breaths. Just feel yourself rooting down from the waist down. The muscles are heavy. And then press into your heel. Toes come towards your face. Blocks underneath your shoulders or your palms are there, depending on your hamstrings. Take an inhale, feel that length in your spine. And exhale, lead with your chest as you fold. Maybe put a soft bend in the elbows to relax the shoulders. And then a few breaths into the back of the leg here. Feel that stretch there in the back of the leg. And then try to soften elsewhere, muscles of your face and shoulders. Take 1 more full breath. Good, bend back into your front knee. Frame your foot. Curl your right toes under, step back to dog pose. And let's find stillness in down dog. So feet are hip width apart at the back of your mat. You might have a little bend in the knees if you know you're a bit tighter in the hamstrings. And really good stretch in the back of the legs in down dog. You want to feel like the thighs and the shins are pulling back. Maybe play with sinking the heels a little closer to the mat. Doesn't matter if they touch or not. Like you can see, mine don't touch. I have a little bend in my knees. So that gives me a longer spine. And I still get a really good stretch in the hamstrings. And with my hands, I'm trying to create the action of pressing my mat forward. When I do that, the chest goes a little closer to the thighs. And that's stretching the back of the leg, goes a little bit deeper. Try to let your head hang. Take 2 more full breaths. And then 1 footprint at a time to lengthen out the hamstrings and make your way to the top of your mat. Land in a standing forward fold, just palms or fingertips down, maybe blocks. You can also hold opposite elbows. Might take a little sway side to side or back and forth if movement feels good. Sometimes it feels good to just hang, let the torso drape towards the thighs in stillness. And then release the elbows if you have them. On your next inhale, bend your knees, glide your arms up, look between your hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. And a little bit of movement, half sun A's. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Same thing, exhale, lead with your chest as you fold every time you take this motion. Halfway lift, breathe in, shoulder blades together, long spine. Forward fold, breathe out. Bunch more like that. Inhale, bend your knees, glide your arms up, look between your hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Try to line up breath to movement. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Halfway lift, long spine. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach through your ring fingers. Exhale, hands to heart center. Do a few more like that. Press your feet down as you sweep up, engage your legs. Lead with your chest, stretch out your hamstrings as you fold forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in, long spine. Forward fold, breathe out, relax your neck. Inhale, sweep your arms up, lift between your hands, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Really good, 2 more. Inhale, press your feet down as you come up. Exhale, lead with your chest as you fold forward. Halfway lift, long spine, pull your chest forward, and forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep your arms up, lift through your bottom ribs as you come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, top of your inhales as you sweep up. Bottom of your exhales as your hands come down. Halfway lift, breathe in, long spine. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach up through your ring fingers. And exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, you're at the top of your mat, feet are hip width apart. You're going to step your left foot back. You're going to be high on the ball of that back foot, and there's a deep bend in your front knee. Once you find that in the low body, go ahead and reach your arms up. And then ground your back foot at 45 degrees if it feels okay for your ankle, warrior 1. So right foot's in the right lane, left foot's in the left lane. As the right knee bends deeply, we engage the quads. Then we're trying to engage the outer hip of that left leg by pressing down through your left pinky. Reach your arms up, steady your gaze, take 3 steady breaths, just feel the pose, feel your body. And you're going to straighten into your front leg. I need my block, so I'm spinning around. You're going to straighten into your front leg. Might be completely straight, might be a little micro bend in it. So reach your arms up, take an inhale here. On your exhale, same thing. Lead with your chest as you fold forward. And then hands come down to blocks or floor. If that's in your practice, pyramid pose. Okay, if this is feeling like a lot on the hamstrings, 2 things you can do. You might put a little more of a bend in that right knee, or you might step your left foot in to shorten the stance. Try to keep the press down at the pinky edge of that back foot.
Your right hip's going to want to pull forward, left hip's going to want to pull back, so you can square off the hips just a touch, doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe play with letting the head drop, take 3 more breaths. Then bend back into your front knee, reach your arms up for warrior 1. Then frame your front foot, step back, go to down dog, or you can add a vinyasa if you'd like. If that's in your practice, you can go for it. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And from down dog, left foot forward in between your hands in the left lane. Right foot in the right lane, reach up into high crescent. For now, you're high on the ball of your back foot. You might stay there if it works for your ankle. Ground that back foot 45 degrees, warrior 1. So as the front knee bends forward, almost like you're trying to push the front of your mat forward. That right pinky presses down firmly, like you were trying to drag your mat back into the right with it. And take one more inhale, feel that reach through your bottom ribs. And then straighten into the front leg, lead with your chest, hands to floor or blocks roughly underneath your shoulders, pyramid pose. And then notice that the hips are turning one direction, so if you can square them off roughly. Just like that half split. Maybe this is plenty of sensation. Maybe you go a little bit deeper in your fold with each exhale. Just feel what works for you. And take 2 more full breaths. Try to relax the jaw as you breathe out. And then remove your blocks if you have them. Bend into your knee. Inhale, reach up, warrior 1. Exhale to frame your foot. Straight to down dog or out of vinyasa if you'd like. And then after you get back through down dog, you can lower down to all fours. And roll off to either hip. Have your strap nearby. Even if you don't have a strap, no worries. I can offer you another modification. Okay, so you're gonna unroll your strap or whatever you have. You're gonna loop it around the ball of your right foot and stretch that right leg up. If you don't have a strap, you can just interlace your hands in front of your hamstrings and find that variation. And then sole of the left foot is down. If you know you're a little more open in the hamstrings, you're more than welcome to extend that left leg out long. All right, we don't need the deepest stretch here to get the benefit, right? Try to keep the grip soft on the strap so the forearms, upper arms, shoulders can relax. And that stretch can be concentrated, that sensation can be concentrated in the hamstrings. If you would like to go a little bit deeper, you can play with pressing the ball of your foot up into the strap. Or after you have your hands, your fingers interlaced, you would press the back of your thigh into your fingers. And then taking 3 more full breaths. Yeah, muscles of the face soften. We don't need those here. Feel the stretch where you're feeling it. See where you can let go throughout the rest of the body. your next full breath, gently bend the knee. So you can remove the strap. Switch to the other side. If you have the strap, it's around the ball of your foot. You can just interlace your fingers around right in front of the back of the thigh. Alright, so come into this hamstring stretch. Alright, if this is feeling like enough, already like a lot on the hamstrings, it's all good. You just stay here. Couple things you can do to add more sensation. You might flex the toes towards your face. You might press the ball of the foot up into the strap. Try and relax the upper back and shoulder blades. Just pinpointing where you're feeling sensation most. No right answer, just a mindfulness practice. And try to let the stillness do the work. Feel the hands get steady on the strap, upper back soften. Feel the sensation where you're feeling it. Try to relax the rest of the body and use your deep breaths. And after your next full breath, go ahead and bend that left knee so you can set the strap off to your side. And then bring the soles of your feet to touch. Allow the knees to open wide. Rest your hands beside you, or on your inner thighs or your abdomen. And just allow yourself to settle into this very passive reclined bound angle pose. If you have your blocks and you'd like to make it a more restorative pose, you can slide those blocks underneath your outer thighs. And now just feel the muscles of the back of the legs. Backs of the legs, just relax and let go. After finding those deep stretches, just allow them to now soften. Same thing with the muscles of the low back and the muscles around the spine, just let go. option to stay here for the next 2 or 3 minutes, or to extend your legs out long and come into Shavasana. So if you want a little more of a stretch on the inner thighs, you can stay here. If you want to just really let everything go, you can come into Shavasana, and we'll stay here for 3 more minutes. So whatever you feel like is best for your body, your mindset right now. You can find that variation. Either way, definitely try to stay through this final pose so you can just let everything kind of set in. Let the nervous system settle down and just take a couple true minutes of rest here. And then the next few breaths, turn a reclined bound angle, have the knees in towards one another. From either pose, hug your knees in, take a little rock side to side. Then roll off to either side. So you can slowly press yourself up. Back to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope that you feel a little more open through the back of the body. If you're enjoying the classes or this is your first time, please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. It's very helpful to me. If you can like and comment on the video, also very helpful. And that's all I got. Thank you so much. Namaste, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for being here. Take care.